here's something that I think is kind of interesting. And I just kind of wrote this out, so I just want to share it. I wrote the strange black men in society, right? Um, Here's the thing, I keep coming across these men, and I'm not seeking them out, but I do like live in society. So if I'm at the grocery store, if I'm on the bus, if I'm at the beach, like um there's some like community spaces that like everyone has to come across. Now, don't get me wrong, cuz I'm certainly not going like out of my way to participate in activities in society that I know these men are interested in, because like I don't seek to be in community with them. But public spaces, I thought that it was very clear that like everyone is going to be in public spaces. But remember, I talked to you guys about this a few weeks ago. There was the man who came up to me and said, "Can you braid my son's hair?" Like, what? I'm not a hair braider. Like, I didn't have any signs for hair braiding, and also my hair wasn't braided. So it's like, just because I was like a black woman, there's something about like this society, and this is like where I think it's like really important to point out the toxic traits and characteristics, because in the same way that for some reason the other groups are starting to put these labels and these patterns and stuff on us, I think it's only fair that we like call out the same bad behavior that we're seeing. Not bad, just really all of the behavior that we are also seeing from the other groups, so that we can we can say like, oh my god, that is this thing that we have also seen before, and this is how it's like it doesn't even have to be a problem. But let's really talk about these men, because like I do feel like for some reason there is this expectation that the black women are going to have to explain like what our value is, that we have a value. That is strange as fuck. So it's like not just that like we're here, and because we're here, something about our humanity. Like I can see another human person and just be like, oh yeah, that person has some value because they are like a person. This is very strange, but I saw Ann Coulter talk about that, and she was trying to like promote Christianity above elitism, which is a whole other conversation, because I actually don't believe in that. Like, American Christians do not see each other as equal, and they especially do not see black people as equal. So I'm not even sure how she was floating that bullshit and expecting anybody at all to believe her. But that isn't the point of this video. So here's one other thing I wrote down. I said, for the small percentage of heterosexual men in society, some of them like to have intercourse with women who have vaginas. So just because of that, women would have value. And you would think that like the small percentage, and that's another thing that I think is like really important. If you start to like look out, and then you realize that like 70% of the men out here who are pretending to be attracted to women are actually just so gay. And so like they're putting up a front, and the front is like it has to be like 24/7. Like they have to continue the front all day long. Everything they do, they have to like pretend to be straight. So they're like working overtime, I guess, to get the rest of us to believe the lie. And then I'm like trying to bring this around to the point. And so I said, like, black women, like we live in society, we work jobs, we have friends, we have family. But like when you see kind of this like one-off, the strange black man, he isn't a member of your community, right? Like he probably doesn't know you. He doesn't go to your church. He isn't a friend of your family. He's not like related to you in any way. Like you don't have any personal connection to this man. He's literally a stranger. And there's something about those men, it's like when they just see us, it's almost like we're causing them angst. Like yesterday I was at Costco and I was like checking out, and there was this black man, and it was clear he had like a biracial son. It looked like his son was like half Asian. And it was like a strange thing he did where he started like holding his son really tight, and he would like look at me, and then he would just like look at his son and be like, I love you, son, or something like that. I'm like, I'm just trying to like buy my food or whatever, but this guy is like, he's behaving in these like very strange ways. Like, I didn't say anything to him, I didn't do anything to him. Like he was making me uncomfortable. I tried to like go faster and like leave. It was like really awkward. Like, I don't know. I think this is another reason that I think it's like really important to like segregate the society in terms of race, because like I don't want to have to feel like when I go to the grocery store, I am doing like, I don't have any history with this man, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know you, sir. Like, what the fuck? Like, okay. And then I tried to kind of unpack this point of, I called it passing privilege. So maybe there's something with these men where they believe that because they are male, the privilege that they have from their maleness is like more privilege than we have because we are women, and so we are less than them because of that. I'm not really sure how that's supposed to play out into the way they behave in society, but I do think that that's a thing. And then I kind of got into this like idea of like the media propaganda. So maybe as society, especially American society, does more and more and more to dehumanize black women like Sexy Red, so that they believe every black woman is Sexy Red, so that even if you're just like standing, they're like, oh, Sexy Red, and you're just like, but I don't, what? They don't care, they are dumb. So like, I don't even know, but it is useful to know, so that like you can also look at them, you can be like, nigger, and then they're like Sexy Red, and you're like, okay, I'm glad we all understand like where we're coming from. Okay, so I said, oh, here's another thing too. Like, I think if those men were grounded maybe a little bit more in reality, they would understand that, because these are the strange black men that I'm talking about specifically, so they would understand that they too are black, like, right? And so in some way they should be able to see some humanity in another black person. But I think there is also a really strange thing, and that became evident during Lucas's live, that there's a lot of black men who don't believe that there is safety or comfort or protection around other black people. They see other black people as being the cause of trouble, the cause of problems, not just in society, but in their lives. And so they don't have an expectation of safety when being around other black people. So there's that. And the last point I got to is that if that's the case, then these men have no responsibility to try to participate in the society. So because they have dehumanized the black women so much, then now when they see one, it's like they're able to compare her to something that is less deserving, less human, if that makes sense. So they have no responsibility for the women in the community or for black women at all. I definitely want to like think about this topic in a little bit more depth, but it was kind of top of mind, and I wanted to share at least the thought process that I've come to thus far, because I do think that there's something there. And also I feel like you guys have run across these men too, and like, not only do I like not want to live with them, they're just like really weird, because if their entire existence is like stepping on the necks of, I suppose, us, hypothetically, what happens when we leave? And this is a part that is really bothersome to me. I already feel like society is completely shattered not just the image of Black American women, but almost like the idea of us being alive. And so, as more of it, it's not that we're not going to be alive in the world, we just won't be alive in the society where they are. So once we are gone, though, I think that what a lot of Black men don't understand is that is the beginning of their termination as well, because they don't just become white. They simply exist with no progeny, meaning no offspring, no children, and no women. So they just exist as gay men, which is kind of what they're existing as now. So maybe that's not a problem. I just thought I'd call it out.